So Fortnite has had a good amount of revolvers ever since season 1. So in this video I want to rank all 9 of them from worst to best. But before we get into it, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to help me assist out subs at the end of the year. Now without further delay, let's get into it. In 9th place is the makeshift revolver from chapter 2 season 6, and this really wasn't close. I mean, it was literally designed to be bad, and it achieved that. It has a DPS of 87.5, which is pitiful, and it does 50 damage a hit, which isn't very good at all, especially because it only has a fire rate of 1.7, which is slow. I mean, if you pair that with the bad damage, you've made a horrible gun. It has a max has a 6, which is average, and it has a reload speed of 2 seconds, and it's pretty alright. Overall, it isn't very good at all. In 8th place is a 6-shooter from season 6, and this also is just a bad gun, but it's a huge improvement over the last one. It has a DPS of 190, and it has the best DPS on the list. It does 76 damage a hit while aiming down sights, which is great, and 38 while hip firing, and it's still pretty good. While aiming down sights, you only get a fire rate of 2, which is pretty slow, but you get more damage, and while hip firing, you get 5 shots a second, but in exchange, you lose out on damage. So this item has a lot of versatility. As a max has a 6, which is average, and a reload speed of 2.18 seconds, and overall it has some pretty good stats, but it isn't very accurate, and it just doesn't have a place in the game. In 7th place is a marksman 6-shooter, and it's the exact same thing as the base one, I'm pretty sure, but it's only changing some extra headshot damage, and it has 4 times damage instead of 2, which is equal to 2 headshots. That's a pretty good ability, but there is much else to talk about. In 6th place is the scoped revolver, and this is a pretty bad weapon, but it has some good stats to it. It has a DPS of 70.4, and that's pretty bad, but it's more of a far range accurate weapon, so that's why it's so low. It does 44 damage a hit, which is pretty solid, but it's not too crazy. It has a fire rate of 1.6, which is slow. It has a mag size of 6, which is average, and a 2-second reload, which is also average. It has a scope for more accuracy and range. It can be used from a huge distance, so that makes it unique among revolvers. But its recoil was genuinely unbearable, but it has some redeemable qualities. In 5th place is the Nighthawk, and it's just the scoped revolver, but it has thermal, but it's the ugly like gray thermal instead of the blue and red one. And I'm debating putting it below the base one because of this, but having the ability to have like recon on a gun is just pretty good, and also you could see through wooden builds with it, and it's a pretty good ability. In 4th place is the normal revolver, and this is a very solid weapon, and the first one I'd say is actually good. It has a DPS of 99, that's actually pretty good for how slow it shoots. It does 66 damage a hit, which is phenomenal and up there with the best revolvers. It has a fire rate of 1.5, which is pretty slow, but its damage makes up for it. It has a mag size of 6, which is average. It has a reload speed of 1.8 seconds, which is great, and overall it has high damage with low speed, and it's pretty accurate, so it has a lot going for it. In 3rd place is the Wrecker revolver, and it's a huge jump in quality from the base revolver. Like the top 3 is just like in its own world, because all these are insanely good. It has a DPS of 112, and that's pretty great. It does an insane 83 damage a hit, so it hits for a truck. It has a fire rate of 1.35, which is decent. It has a mag size of 8, which is great. It has a reload speed of 2.89 seconds, which is below average. It also has an insane range with very little damage drop off, and this is even after the nerf, so before it was even better. Overall, it does insane damage, but it is lacking speed, so it's basically just the base revolver on steroids. In 2nd place is the Eradicator marksman revolver, and it's just the normal one, but it has extra headshot damage and a higher hip fire speed, so it's a huge improvement in every single way, and there isn't much else to say. And in 1st place is kill switch revolvers, and these were amazing. It had a DPS of 141, which is phenomenal. It did 47 damage a hit, which is great, and the highest fire rate of the gun that don't split hip fire and ADS being 3, so you could shoot a lot for good damage. It by far had the highest mag size of 12 because it has 2 pistols, and it had a reload speed of 1.91 seconds, which is pretty fast. They also had a time slow ability, and it which legit gave you perfect accuracy, so if you had your eyes open, you could get insane damage from amazing range. And overall, it has everything going for it, being damage, speed, accuracy, and it even has an ability to top it all off, so it's by far the best revolver in Fortnite history. But that's the end of my video. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe to help me reach 6,000 subs by the end of the year. Also comment on the videos in the future, and lastly, cash me has some extra money you can get, but that's not funny. Goodbye.